how I made 370,000 just as a joke investing, and I bought NSE shares. I know some of you be like, okay, what is NSE shares? I will explain about that. I mean, okay, fine. I don't like making this kind of videos like I made this, you can, nah. But I'm saying this to inspire you and also to give glory to God. All the glory remain to God. I'm sharing this information so that I can explain to you some things it can happen. You only need to try. This is good, Joseph, in case you're watching me for the first time and you're wondering, hey, who is this guy? I mean, I just make videos as far as the investments are concerned. And I'm not just a talker here. I invest. Some of you whom we have met physical meeting, I have even shown you literally how I do it and such. All right? See, watch this video to the end. For God's sake, it's like 15 minutes. Might change your life in one way or the other. And by the way, don't forget to hit that subscription button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video, and leave a comment on the comment section. Please, on this video, I want us to help each other. Tell me, at how much did you buy shares and how much have you made if you were to sell those shares right now? Are we together? I haven't sold mine. This is a paper appreciation. This is a paper money. It's not the money that is in my bank that, no. But if I sell it today, right now, I will get that amount of money. Anyway, let's get on the business now. Whew, can't wait to share this information. Now, as I was on the streets of buying shares, as you know, guys, been following me, I do buy shares, and I do not have that big money. I just buy shares like, I told you, sometimes I buy 200 shares a month, 300 shares, 400, 500, depends with how that month is. So, I don't know whether I should say this. Let me just say it. I used to buy a lot of Cooperative Bank shares and Absa Bank. In the streets of that, buying those shares and some NCBA Bank shares, although the NCBA banks were a bit expensive, I was like, okay, what is this NSE? What is this NSE shares? You know, if you go to shares buying application or the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you'll actually see one of the company listed under the Nairobi Securities Exchange as NSE. So I was like, okay, what is this NSE? Does it mean you can buy? You see, NSE is more of a platform where all the PLC's companies trade. And then I was like, then what is this NSE? Oh, so the NSE means that particular trading platform called the Nairobi Securities Exchange, it can self-list itself. So you can also buy the Nairobi Securities Exchange shares. So they sell its own shares. Okay, I know that may sound like Greek, but it makes sense for those who understand. So I was like, okay, what is this company? Like, okay, I can buy shares anyway for these companies. Back then, these shares were at around 4 shilling. One share was around 4 shilling. And then I was like, I waited for like a month, the shares are not changing much and what have you. Then all of a sudden I realized shares have now hit 5 shilling. 5 shilling. And I was like, okay, I think there is some sort of an increment. And then can you imagine this? I bought these shares as a joke. You know, I used to have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And then I was like, you know what? With 5,000 in my account, I can buy some several shares. If one is trading at 5 shilling, I can buy some several shares. So I used to accumulate those shares and and what have you. And then one day I decided, no, I think I can bank on this company or this Nairobi Securities Exchange. Why? People are buying shares, then the company will actually grow. Then it means probably these shares will actually do what? Can you imagine this? I had bought shares worth around 47,000. I remember that, 47,000. That's small, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 6, 4, 3. It accumulated to at least 47,000. And then I was like, no, I think I should just buy something. And then I did one, how can I say this? One sort of a trial, and I did put my 40-something thousand there. No, it was actually 44,000. I put some 44,000 here. I was at 91,000. And then I added some few coins there. This money, in other words, I'm trying to say this. I bought NSE shares worth 97,000. 97,000 Kenyan shilling. That is slightly, that's like around $800. Those are the shares that I bought. And then I was like, nah, let me just leave it there. Why? Because these shares actually went down all the way from 5 shillings. I think there was a time it went even to 6 shillings. Then it went down almost to 4 shillings. I was like, nah, I think this was a mistake. And then I just let them be. Can you imagine what? Those shares that I bought at 5 shillings, you can go check that one on the Nairobi Security. Those shares that I bought at 5 shillings, right now, I'm making this video on 10th of October 2025. Those shares are worth 20 shillings and 65 cents. You can verify that. For your information, they had even hit 20. I think it was 22, 21 or something like that. You know, it goes up, sometime down and something like that. Those shares right now are worth 20.65 shillings. First, I bought them at 4 shillings. But the average price, you see, when you buy shares, they usually do what you call an average. You can buy shares when they're at 4 shillings, you can buy when they're at 5, you can buy when they're at 6. So they do an average. My average purchasing price is 5 shillings. Now, even if mathematics is not a cup of your coffee, I want us to do a very simple mathematics. You know, I was doing this mathematics and I was shocked. I bought shares equivalent. My money that I invested there, it is 97,000. That is the money that I invested there on that particular shares called the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And that was not even my major shares that I was buying. Now, I want you to do simple mathematics. Tell me how much this money is worth right now if I was to sell my shares. Let's go step by step. Hope you're with me. And if you have not liked the video, go ahead and do so. All right? So let's do the simple mathematics here. All right? By the way, I'm not even a professor of these investments. Sometimes you just do these things. But I do believe in life when you're making money, the favor of God is really needed, the grace of God. Because we don't do this because we know. No, okay, sure, we do have some few information here and there, but it's all by the grace of God. And I'm not saying that if you invest 96,000 in a period of 5 months, you will make this money. Please don't get that information in that manner, because that is not the truth. You can buy shares worth this money, or even more or less, and the shares can go down, and then you can go at a loss. It happens. So when I'm saying this, I do not mean that all of you go borrow even 97,000, promise people to pay. No, don't do that. This is a stock market and it is very risky. You're supposed to understand that. And even before you invest, please always contact your financial advisor. Whoever that is, whoever you feel comfortable them to be. It doesn't have to be me, whoever. But always do your research. Now, 97,000, I want us to do this mathematics. I bought 97,000 and I bought my shares at an average of 5 shillings. Now, I want you to divide how many shares I bought with this 95. If one share was going for 5 shillings. We do that mathematics. Hang on a second there. So if it is 95,000, sorry, 97,000, we divide by 5 shillings. I bought 19,400. You can always verify this. By the way, if I make a mistake on calculations here, please always rectify me. All right? Perhaps I might think I made this money and it's not, but you can verify. So I bought 19,400 shares. Actually, I saw my shares were at actually 20,000. I don't know. Maybe I bought at less than. Okay. Based on what I'm seeing on my portfolio, because even I'm making this video, I can see my portfolio there. These shares is worth more than. I have more than. Okay, fine. Let's work with this figure. 19,400. Now, those are the shares that I have of Nairobi Securities Exchange. So now the question is this, very simple. If I was to sell these shares today and right now, how much will I make? How do we calculate that? It's simple. We take the number of shares we have, which is 19,400, multiplied by the current price per share of this company. Remember, came all the way from 4 shilling. Now we are talking about 20, 21. But let's work with the current, how it closed as of Friday, because I'm making this video on Sunday. Now, I want you to calculate now. The current share per price is 20.65. No, not on Friday. I'm making this video on Monday. Now, calculate and tell me. 19,400 multiplied by the number of the current price, which is 20.65. Tell me how much is. Here we go. 19,400 multiplied by 20.65. Damn, that's 400,000. Actually, I made a mistake. It's not 370,000. That is 400,000. 400,000 and what? 606. How much did you see yourself? Okay, 610. That's what I have right now. If I was to sell my shares, sure, I know I didn't make a net of 370, honestly. But then, if I was to deduct, you can actually realize how much I have made. My 97 Gs has gone all the way to 400,610. But there's something that you're supposed to understand. This is called paper appreciation. I know there's some family members watching me be like, okay, send us 2,000. I do not have this money. It is in the stock market. It is the shares worth this much that I have there. If I was to sell them, all of them, right now, this is what I will get. And obviously, if you do the deductions, because you have to pay taxes, that is why it's coming up to around 370s, 380s, around there. Because in Kenya, you have to pay tax of 5% as far as the stock market is concerned. So if you deduct that, probably that figure will actually end up to that particular figure. Now, the point here is this money is not already in my pocket. I know you'll be like, hey, Joseph, you're supposed to sell those shares and what have you. True, you have a point. Probably I'm going to sell those shares immediately after this video. But the point here is I wanted to share this information to you. Remember another one that I shared to you when I said I bought KPLC shares, when I used to beg you guys, buy these shares, in the comment section, you were telling me, hey, we can't buy shares now. Nairobi has been voted as the worst performing stock exchange on earth. It is going down. It's not a good thing. You know, failures have a lot of excuses. Oh, don't do this. Hey, do that. Sometimes I tell people, just try. If it goes well, good. If it goes south, you've learned. Either way, you're far much better than somebody who didn't try. That is exactly how you do the things. Now, if I was to sell these shares today, this is what I will pocket if I was to sell them. But do I have a plan of selling them? Truly, no, I do not. I only saw, okay, well, if I sell them, this is what I will get. But why is that newspaper? There's a video I made and I told you the Nairobi Securities Exchange was about to cross the 3 trillion mark. It has already crossed the 3 in history. Meaning, people are trading in volumes in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Then what does that, even if you're not so smart when it comes to the stock exchange? You know, when people buy more shares and selling, and a lot of trading is happening there. Let me give a very simple example for you to understand what I'm talking about. Let's say this is a market where people are buying and selling. But this market at the beginning, let's say this is your market. You're not selling any vegetables and whatever there, but you own that parcel of land where people just come and sit and sell their things. So, and then you charge them. Then you charge, by virtue of them selling and buying, you charge them. So you own that market. Now that market, it's our Nairobi Securities Exchange. And then all of a sudden, people realize that market, people sell things at a very affordable way and there are opportunities of even making money. And then a lot of people are coming into that market and now they're buying and selling, Guess what? Of course, you'll be like, okay, whoa. Hang on. I think I can also make more money because I'm the owner of this market. So you end up charging more, or you may not even charge more, but you can have more of a transaction. And then you have an arrangement of, okay, fine, I'll be making money by virtue of you transacting. I get some commissions and transactions and what have you out of this. So you're likely to make more money. So if my market was a PLC, a publicly listed company, so it means I'm likely to make more money. So therefore, as a wise person, you're likely to know that this company of mine, which is the market, shares will actually appreciate because people are coming in more to trade. Therefore, you are likely to make more money. So what is the future of this market if you outlook it? The future is brilliant, isn't it? Okay, we may not know up to what extent, but the future is brilliant. So as a result, that is what is happening in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And that's why the shares have come all the way from 4 shillings, 5 shillings. Some even of you, I know they bought even at less than that. We are now at 20, at 21, heading upward there. Am I perfect when I say that it will actually go up? No, I can make a mistake. But remember here, I told you guys, the NCBA shares will actually hit 100 mark. They did. They even went beyond. Now, this one, I'm seeing more of upward trajectory based on the activities that are going on this market. And if you want to know this, please, after this video, go to your Google and search the financial records of the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The profits have increased. I had those statistics here. Let me not read for you now, but you can go check it out. There is a video I had touched some of that information when I explained why they crossed or when they were crossing the 3 trillion mark. And that means the future of this company is brilliant. Anyway, the point here, just remember, I bought these shares as a joke or whatever, just investing, here and there, here and there and something like that. But that's where they are. It is what it is. Sometimes you wish like, hey, I wish I bought a lot of shares of those, but it is what it is anyway. All right, so we are never perfect. That is good, Joseph. Hope I made some sense on that video. And if I didn't, and if I made any mistake, guys, you can correct it. And I said, if you bought any shares, Let me know on the comment section, which companies did you buy? You bought it at how much is it, and how much have you so far in terms of the net profit? I mean, if you were to sell your shares, and if you already said you sold your shares, tell me how much did you pocket, so that we see, hey, I mean, this platform is helping people, because that is my mission. Sure, I may not change the world, but I'm on a mission of changing your pocket. See you in the next one. Don't forget, this is my number in case you need my services on the investments. Shoot me a text on my WhatsApp. See you there.